Hello, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto. Under 20 today. I'm very happy about that. Where am I today? Actually, I'm at 11 even. So that is perfect. And I'm having a great big green leafy salad with 5 types of lettuce. I'll tell you about it later. And I'm having cauliflower crumbles and very lightly roasted asparagus because I like them crisp. And I think my tummy likes the prebiotics of the asparagus crisp to feed the probiotics in the gut. Oh, I'm just working it. And I know that there's better ways like sauerkraut pickles and yogurts and even the good culture cottage cheese. But yeah, I love my asparagus. Anyway, here we are today. And I got a voicemail last night from my 89-year-old elderly, well, 89, I mean, that's a little redundant, my 89-year-old woman that I usually give a lift to my 12-step meeting on Wednesdays and Thursday. And she's working at Macy's both those days, so I don't have to pick her up. Bless her soul. We all want to be her size, her age, and still working, don't we? Wow. She is somebody to admire. So anyway, here we are today, and I'm getting such great comments, and it really takes a long time to answer everybody, but I love it, plus my clients. And so it's really fun, and it's turned into more than just life, and people send me a lot of links to watch it. It's like, so my guilty pleasure time is looking up the links that they give me, and it's just, I am totally 100% immersed in my keto program. Now, a lot of you like to listen to me first thing in the morning. You have your little cup of joe with me, maybe your bulletproof coffee, maybe just regular coffee, maybe tea, maybe bulletproof tea, maybe some people are having, what does Tammy have? Creme brio or something like that. It's a non-coffee hot drink. Looks good, she says. I think you can get it at Amazon. But anyway, so a lot of us settle in for the day and listen to what I have to say. And somebody says, I watch you first thing in the morning. And I said, I do too, because I need to hear what I said. So when people are commenting, sometimes they don't really reference what it is. I see what video it comes from with their comment, but I don't, sometimes they say, well, yeah, that's true. And it's like, what are they referring to? So I watch it as well. I know that's funny, isn't it? Oh, she's such a narcissist. And I don't have a pool of water to look in today, so what can I say? Anyway, life is good. And I love my keto. And I just never, ever take it for granted. It's work. It's an investment. And it has its rewards. So why wouldn't I want to keep doing it? I use the chronometer. And the chronometer gives me such information, such great information. I usually recommend that my clients use it too, because then it makes it easier. It's kind of like I'm looking at the same language and to do. But MyFitnessPal has a free version as well. I began my tracking with Spark People. That was like 11 years ago. And Weight Watchers, of course, has a tracker. And, the chronometer also has the scanning thing. I always love doing that. And it's just a lot of fun, and my keto food plan is not a game, but there is a game sense involved in, like, I'm putting in everything that I'm eating, and then you see the tally, and especially if it's like a new thing that I'm having, then you see if you have to shave other things, and how it goes. I'm 67 years old. I believe that my metabolism does not like a lot of protein, so I keep my protein low. The chronometer says I'm supposed to have 37 grams. Today I'm having 55. So my max for grams of protein, not the weighed item, but the grams of protein total for the day and all the things I eat is the 55, and I always keep it under 60. If I have a big A salad, which I think I'm planning on having, no, I'm not having, no, I'm having a taco salad tomorrow. Then it can be around 37 because I'm just having like a couple of hard-boiled eggs and chopped up bacon in it. But once I add my portion of meat, tonight's meat is 5 ounces of filet mignon, and I'm sure that's what gets the grams of protein higher. But it's not too high for me. 60 is my cutoff limit in my macros. It says for fat, I'm supposed to have allowed to have 135 grams of fat. In the chronometer, you put down your activity level, whether it's sedentary or moderately active, very active, extremely active, I guess it goes. And I guess I'm moderately. So I'm allowed, what am I allowed? I'm allowed 135 grams of fat. Oh, for calories, 1,444. And today I'm under that. And so I will be tweaking it, but I can't add more veggies because my carbs are at 11 even, and that's right where I like to leave it. So it might be another tablespoon of macadamia nut oil on my salad. Yeah. But food-wise, volume-wise, it's just enough. I've got the big salad. I've got the plate. I use the Fiesta ware. This is the salad size plate. So it's like, like that. It's not the bread and butter. It's like the salad. And on that will be the 5 ounce of filet that I reheat in butter on the top of the stove because Greg has cooked it on the big green egg very rare. So when I reheat it, it ends up just being medium rare. And 2 ounces of sauteed cauli crumbles in like a teaspoon of pasture-raised butter, and my 5 asparagus cooked in the toaster oven with a spray of coconut oil on them for 3 minutes at 350. So they're crispy. And so that's the plate. Over here's the salad. It has the 5 lettuces. It has 1 ounce of 365 everyday feta from Whole Foods, and the 3 tablespoons of oil, half EVU, half macadamia nut oil. And so that is my delicious dinner that I have planned for today, and it's 1,400 calories, and it is the 11 grams of carbs, and it is the protein is the 55 grams, and that works for me. Why do I weigh and measure? Why do I care about my macros? Because I'm on maintenance. I'm very fortunate to be on maintenance. And so being on maintenance and paying attention to what I eat, weighing and measuring what I'm eating in grams, not ounces, not cups, nothing like that, in grams, except for the salad oil, because I can do a tablespoon and a tablespoon and a tablespoon. But the other things I weigh in grams. Why? Because ounces, cups, and so forth get very slippery for me. They might be slippery for you too. And who's to say what a cup is? Because I'm a food addict, I'm going to take that cup and I'm going to just like, So what looks like a cup of green beans, if you weigh the grams, it's really, 240 grams of green beans, which they say a serving is 80 grams. I say a serving is sometimes it's 40 grams, sometimes it's 20 grams, depending on the other things that I'm having. So when I was low carb, high fat, I had probably hundreds of grams of veggies. I would have the dinner size plate for starters. So here it is, and I would have the Brussels sprouts and the green beans and the cauliflower crumbles and the broccoli. I mean, I would have, because I'm thinking veggies. I already gave up fruit. So it's like I'm left with the veggies. What's wrong? Isn't this the point? And so be careful who you listen to. There's doctors out there that say have just a few, just a couple of cups. Another one says have 7 to 10. I'm a female. I'm 67 years old. I have figured out what macros work for me. what my, numbers need to be to stay in my macro range. If you're not doing your macro range or weighing and measuring or doing grams or being vigilant at the lowest level to me, which is the weighing, measuring, tracking, how are you going to know when it comes time to to push yourself off that plateau, to get yourself into you want to lose that little bit more? You're bored and angry and frustrated with your plateau, and you're starting to think keto's not working for me. So you start doing things like egg fasts and water fasts, fat fasts, things that just, are tricky or trendy versus the eating. Some of you have success with it. It has no appeal to me. I want my food, and I want it the way that I've been having it. And so being on maintenance, I treat it as the most precious thing in the world and what works. So I don't mess around with trendy, tricky keto things that people do that give them the luck that they give them. I know what works for me, and I call this a journey of self-knowledge as well as a keto journey. And so with that, I know what's going to work for me. But sometimes when working with a client, I can see right away where their walls could be to getting to what they want to have. And so it's like a secret window in somebody else's world and life. And of course, it all depends on what they weigh and what they eat and how old they are. I always reference Tammy because she's had enormous success with her weight loss, and she's 43. And so I'm a whole quarter of a century older than her. So we have different metabolisms, and she's at her pre-wedding weight. She had a whoosh this week, and she was so delighted. And she has more protein than I have, and she has less fat than I have. And that is her winning recipe for her macros. And mine is for me. And, I'm thinking, I shouldn't assume, but, I wouldn't be surprised if most older women do better on less protein and more fat. Just saying. I think the vegetables, if you haven't been weighing and measuring them in grams, you will be surprised when you see what some of them turn up for carbs. It's not what you might have imagined because we think we're doing things in a very healthy way. I mean, who's going to say that, 2 cups of spinach is not right for us? Well, it might have 7 or 8 grams. I don't know. I'm just for exampling. Or cauliflower or broccoli or green beans. And suddenly, you're at a total of 30 grams. Some people do the net carbs, which is, and they can fit a lot more in because they're subtracting the fiber. That might be working for you, or it might not be working for you, and you're frustrated and you want to stamp your feet and pout and have a little tantrum because things stopped working, and you don't want things to stop working. And so a stall could be a crying out to tweak what you're eating, redefine, get it down to the basic again. If you haven't been weighing and measuring, how do you know where to tweak? If you haven't been tracking, how do you know where to tweak, right? You can't just say, it's like a self-diagnostic without the laboratory tool of the scale and the tracker. So how do you know? If you're I can do a tablespoon of butter or coconut oil in my bulletproof coffee or the brain octane and know, I could do it without weighing, but I don't. And so oftentimes, I'll be at 13 grams of butter, or I'll be at 17 grams of butter instead of that, magic 14 grams of butter. Same with the cream cheese, same with the coconut oil and other, fats that we could weigh. And so how do you know unless you're doing it? And it's not a huge investment in time. I think getting to the habit is probably the resistance more than the actual doing of it. Have you ever had to clean or do a paper or talk to somebody about something that's not easy and you spent more emotional energy with it in your head than just doing the damn thing, right? That's how I look at weighing and measuring and tracking. Instead of putting all this energy into, no, I'm not doing it. I haven't done it. I don't need to, you know, okay, but don't call your plateau a plateau without, doing something about it. Sometimes they say the plateau is you're doing good things for your body on the inside. It needs that time. The interest could still be going. You could have a whoosh like Tammy had far into your keto journey, but other times it could be as simple as stopping the net carb. I call it nonsense. That's just me because I'm 67 and I'm just sensical or whatever the word is. It just doesn't, it's too slippery, loosey-goosey, open-ended for me. Stopping that and going to total carbs for a week and seeing if it makes a difference. Seeing if you're noticing, oh my God, I had no idea that had that in it. Well, you don't know unless you use your diagnostics for yourself. Do you think that somebody with a high-powered car, could sit there and say, it's sputtering and what could it be without taking it to the high-end store and having them do all their computerized blah blahs on it? No. Well, that's what our body is like with the weighing and the measuring and the tracking. It's like our diagnostic. This is what's working. And some of us have a great week, like some of us could have a 3-pound loss in a week. And suddenly we stop tracking and weighing and measuring and we start gaining again. And because we don't give up the scale, right? And so we're doing our frequently jumping on the scale and we're seeing it going up and we're getting panicked and we're overeating and we're gulping and we're just, all the old habits come right back in. And so if you had a great week where you lost 3 pounds, go back and recreate that week. In the chronometer, you can copy and then paste it into Monday, Tuesday into Tuesday. So you could go back and recreate that whole week and eat that exact same thing and see if you can get your body back to where it's doing what it's supposed to do, what you want it to do. So plateaus are sometimes just what they are. Your insides are healing and everything else. But other times it's human. It's human habits go bye-bye out the window like on a fresh spring day. There they go. And you start thinking you can do this all on your own without your diagnostic tools. Okay. But I'm just here to say that if you really want to get to the root of your problem, and it's always going to be something, you're always going to be either maintaining, your goal weight or getting to your goal weight. Because no matter how much we love the health benefits here, we do like that goal weight. It is a nice thing to think of getting towards. So if you are getting there, don't you want to see what you are doing to get you there? Food is more than medicine. It also is what we eat to get us to where we want to be. So just try to change up the brain if you're stuck on, I call it stuck on stubborn in a smackdown because that's what it could be. No, I'm not going to do that. I've never done it. I'm not going to do it now. Okay. And then you go to the doctor's office and it says not a difference of like 2 pounds that sometimes are ranges or it's later in the day or fully dressed. It says something like 12 pounds difference. And you're going, oh, no. And then what do? You turn to the food because something's not working and you're going to blame the keto. It's not the keto. Owner operated. So sometimes we have to go all the way back to the basics, like when somebody's had sobriety, they stop going to meetings, they stop calling their sponsor, they stop all that stuff, they drink, and when they come back, they can't do what they weren't doing before and have success. They have to go back to the basics, reading the literature, getting a sponsor, calling the sponsor, doing what the sponsor says, not unlike a food coach would say, well, what's different this time? And so basics are basics, and that's why Think of January when everybody starts doing what they were supposed to be doing all year long. And then they just started blowing it from Halloween on. You're not that person anymore. You're a pickle. And once you go keto, you can't go back, right? And I can't believe I'm at 21 minutes. So I'm going to stop this bomb and move on with my day. And I hope you can move on with yours too. Sorry it was so long. Thanks for watching. I will see you the next time. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. My carbs are at 11 today. Total, I'm having the best food that I can have. I can't wait. I'm OMAD, and I have 2 bulletproof coffees a day. I call it a fatty fast in my intermittent fasting, and it works for me. So come join me. This is a fun journey. The journey to getting to knowing yourself. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.